Hey Carl, it's Chris here. Look, I thought rather than sending 1,000 emails that it'd just be easier if I record a small video for you. So I'm having a quick look at your customer here, Garden Court Apartments, and I can see that their main keyword is Accommodation Queenstown, which I'm sure you can imagine is a highly competitive and highly valuable keyword. So when I type in Queenstown Accommodation, there's, well, two versions, one with double M and one without, but the one without the double N actually has more search volume, so I'm looking at that. You can see that this area is what's going to be the most important, getting into this Google Maps box, and these guys are nowhere to be seen. But looking at the top 10, you can see that, you know, TripAdvisor, Expedia, Booking, What If, you know, Ridges, some huge names. Like this is a ridiculously valuable keyword, so that's why the giant brands are there. But I went for a bit of a comparison against Queenstown Motel Apartments, because they're in the top 10, so they're doing pretty well, and they're just a small brand as well. So looking at their sites, you can see the difference in traffic, right? So here's Garden Court, your guys, and they did have a spike in July. Quite a big spike. Did you do something in July? Because it's dropped off back to where they normally are. But you can see that they're ranking for 40 keywords, getting around 50 visitors a day. You know, that traffic had cost around $112 US. You know, Queenstown Accommodation, they're not that far away. They're on position 30. You know, and that's 8,100 searches. That's a huge amount of search volume. What's the cost per click? $4.47. So that's, you know, a pretty high cost per click. And you're on page 3, so it's not that hard to move forward on that. Yeah, see, here's the accommodation with 2 M's, which has half as much search volume, 4,400, and again 42. So not that hard to move that forward. But let's look at a QMA. And you can see that they rank for 37 keywords, generating them 994 visitors every single day, and that traffic would cost them $4,000. That's, well, a lot of money. You know, they're not always on the first page, as you can see here. The SEMrush is tracking them on page 2, but today we can see them on page 1. But they're generating a good amount of traffic from that anyway. You know, 1,000 visitors a day versus your guys at 250. It's 4 times as much, and much more valuable keywords. Well, actually 50 generally. Yeah, much more valuable keywords. 50 to 1,000. That's, well, 200 more people. So as to why they're ranking, looking at your backlink profile, you can see you got a trust flow of 32, which is quite high really. From 177 domains, and those 177 domains have 942 links coming from them, which is pretty normal. And looking at your anchor text profile, it's all pretty normal. So looking good. Looking at the competitor there, actually got a trust flow of 31, which is 1 less. So you're both in the same ballpark. 55 domains. They've got 395 backlinks from those 55 domains. And again, their anchor text looks pretty normal. You've got the brand name at the top, and then all of the naked URL links. So again, pretty normal. So nothing stands out there as to why they're outranking you. Looking at site speed, so you've done a good job here. You kicked their butt. Their site loads in 3.3 seconds. Yours loads in 1.5. That's pretty good, and you beat them on nearly everything, so that's good. So that doesn't really pick us to why your guys are ranking higher. Looking at the Whois, you can see that you were registered back in 2007. They were registered in 2008, so they're both very old domains. So that doesn't really point us to why they're ranking better. Looking at the site structure, I can see that neither is amazing, but neither is terrible either. I mean, they've got 3 pages of index. There's 22 extra things that probably shouldn't be indexed. these guys have, well, 60 pages. They got 56 extra things that probably shouldn't be indexed. But you know, overall the sites are in decent shape. This page looks a bit weird with the, you know, you've got 2 contact us's and 1 here, so there's, you know, probably some technical issue. But my point being is this is a hugely valuable keyword. You know, a Queenstown accommodation is super valuable. All these guys are chasing it for a reason. And a little $100 link order is not going to have you beat TripAdvisor or Expedia or Booking.com. And the value that you can get to the customer for this keyword is huge. I mean, look at their competition. They have $4,000 worth of US dollars worth of traffic every single day from keywords like Queenstown accommodation. $100 a month, like, you know, you're not going to get a $4,000 a day. What's that over 3? That's like, geez, $120,000 a month. I mean, you're not going to get that over from a $100 link order. You know, you can look for some low-hanging fruit and try and get that, but I think that your best option is to really go back to the customer and show them the value. You know, I don't know how full they are and how many new bookings that they can take, but geez, you know, QMA is kicking them in search, and I'd highly recommend that they look at that. I mean, we can help. There's nothing obvious to me as to why they're ranking better, so a real website investigation is what's needed to go through the site, see if there's nothing that's technically wrong. I'm sure that there is. There's probably some site structure issues, some content issues, and that's what needs to be really looked at first. And then, you know, see what happens. Bouncing up, having an analysis of the citations and why these guys are in the top 3 and where your guys is. You know, a great way to find out how to rank in Google Maps is to see why these guys are ranking in Google Maps. So I'd really recommend looking at that sort of stuff first. You know, again, a $100 link order is not going to get you there. So maybe it's best that we have a chat and work out a strategy to move forward. If you'd like to organise a chat, just click the button below this video, find a time that works for you, book it in then, and we can talk. So I hope you found that valuable, and I look forward to working with you soon. Cheers, Carl. Bye-bye.